All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining in today. I'm Chris Rivera, Director of Client Relations with Entigrity, and we are on episode number 37 of #BKOT. And today, I have an awesome guest with me. Jim Hall is the co-founder and VP of TallyStreet.com. And something that we haven't spoke about is kind of what we're going to talk about today is CAS and leveraging the data for analysis, right? What do you do? How do you go about it? What tools are there? So that's what we're going to talk about. And so you might have been thinking about this for your firm or already implementing it. So Jim, thank you so much for taking time out and doing this with me today. So tell us about yourself and how you got TallyStreet all started.
Great. Well, thanks for your time, Chris, and hello, everybody. So my name is Jim Hall, co-founder of TallyStreet, and we're a customer insights software tool. So we're designed to be providing data and analytics and insight for strategic decision-making as opposed to more traditional financial and tax reporting type work. So basically, how can you leverage the data you already are maintaining when you're doing your regular bookkeeping, CAS, outsourced CFO, accounting job correctly and timely and accurately? How can you leverage the data that you already manage and control to provide greater insights, better value, and more advisory type conversational tools to your clients? So TallyStreet kind of started with a couple of personal challenges that my co-founder and I had. For him, his background, Brian Sudoff, his background's in analytics and big data, and left a startup that was doing that, multi-million-dollar, revenue generating company to start a very small liquor distributor in the New England area. So very different kind of business, just him and a few consultants, salespeople, and very quickly started missing kind of the tools that he had to understand his customers that he used every day at a VC environment. So he went looking for something to replace them, and quickly found that there wasn't anything out there that A, he could afford, or B, he could implement without an IT developer software resource. My background's in banking, and 20 plus years in banking and small business consulting, and not a day went by where I wasn't providing advice to my business owners. They're very good at what they do, but they're not necessarily the most financially savvy people in the world. So they had questions all the time about, well, what's happening in my business? What's going on with my company? What do you see when you look at my financials, stuff like that. You kind of became sort of a therapist as a banker sometimes. So those kind of were the conversations that we had. So that's where TallyStreet kind of evolved out of, was that pain and that struggle that business owners, as well as their advisors, their CPAs and accountants had when trying to address these situations. Because a lot of the CPAs and accountants that I dealt with, or how I dealt with them as a banker, was primarily around getting the taxes and the financial statements, timely and in my hands, not really looking at analytics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to leveraging the data, it's literally where did I read it? An analytical journey, right? And what do you do with all the data?
Right.
Because it's directly linked to how it's applied, right? You could have all this data. It's like, cool. What do we do with it?
Right.
So with firms, there's so many value-added services that they could be doing, right? Budgeting, forecasting, business efficiency, technology and application advisory, financial planning, right? So when a firm is trying to go about these value-added services, where do they start, and how do they get started for their clients?
Sure. I think the first thing I would say is that business owners universally, I've not met one yet, that don't care about three things in varying degrees of importance. The first is sales. They all care about sales, love talking about sales. My revenues were this much this year. We grew 20% in revenues this year, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. They all care about their customers. They want to make sure they're taking good care of their customers and finding new ones and all those kinds of great things around customers. and they all want to get paid. It doesn't do any good to have sales and have customers if you never have any money in the bank. That doesn't keep your engine running at the business. So, contrary to what accountants and bookkeepers think, they don't care as much about getting the depreciation schedules accurate or the expense categories done correctly according to GAAP. I mean, that's sort of like baseline. They expect that to be done. That's what they're paying you for. If you can't do that, they wouldn't hire you. So they just don't care about that as much. I'm sorry, they don't. So stop thinking your clients care about how pretty your balance sheet looks. No one cares about that. So let's get them reviewing information about what they are passionate about, and then you can be the hero, which is around sales, customers, and getting paid, collections. So all that data that we use to do our analysis at TallyStreet focuses on those three things and others, but focuses on those three things, and it all gets developed from the invoice data that you already maintain for your clients when you produce, maintain sales receipts and invoices and post payments against those invoices in the accounting system. It already lives there. There's nothing else you have to do. You don't need to hire an IT person to install new software, maintain, update, upgrade, etc. Just connect like you do an app for your phone, and you're ready to go.
And so the what I'm hearing you saying is it's going to be generating data from it has integrations within the softwares and producing specific reports. Do you have the ability of like packaging some different types of services, or how does that work for?
Yeah, I mean, we basically have a set of reports that we produce based off of what people are looking for or have looked for. We could have some customization options. If you have a very special need, we're able to accommodate that. We do have a Google Sheets integration. So if you have a certain chart or pivot table you want to use and always have used, or a dashboard you've created, etc., we can work with that. We also have CRM integrations available. So if you use Salesforce or HubSpot, you can put some of the insights into your CRM so that you can safely share that information, that customer insights regarding payments and sales and outstanding invoices and past due balances, etc., with the sales and marketing and customer success team, so they have it at their fingertips and the tool that they use and aren't bothering you as the accountant or bookkeeper for it. I've not met a single financial person, accountant, bookkeeper that wants to give a salesperson the keys to the QuickBooks, like a password, to let them mess around in their accounting platform. So that's been an audit, no. So fine, that's great. You maintain the record of truth as the finance, accountant, bookkeeping expert with your CAS work, and let's share the insights that are related to sales, customers, and cash flow and collections, in the tools that they use, either through third reports that we create, spreadsheets, and or CRM integrations. So those are all kind of platforms we play nicely with.
Nice. Yeah, because in order to really be successful as a client accounting services model, they have to have the CPA, the accountant has to have a good understanding of the business, right? And have to do a deep dive into it. So does it have the ability to where, in order to provide, it's the quality service delivery for the clients, how without getting too much into a deep understanding, is the reporting ability able to provide some insight in regards to that?
Absolutely, yeah. We provide insights into the customers of the business. And I think one thing to point out here is whenever you talk about advisory or CAS or bringing value-added services, I want to make sure I'm very clear about the difference between expert and experience, right? So being the expert is, this is my world, I live here, I know all the ins and outs about it, which is, the things that you do well in CAS, your bookkeeping, your accounting, compliance with GAAP and tax code, reconciliations are done accurately and accounts are balanced. You generate your traditional financial reports that are required for lenders or investors or whatever. Mm-hmm. But what it is not, what an expert is not, is having all the answers to every client's business problem. Right. You're not there to provide all the answers. versus leveraging your experience, which is, make sure you set up things properly, having an efficient process, helping clients develop efficient processes, suggestions for the tech stack, what's a good tool that you should use given your situation, and leveraging lessons learned from other clients, right? Your business owners that you work with, they live in their own little bubble. You work with a lot of different clients, a lot of different types of clients. Maybe it's a lot of clients in the same industry, but different aspects or sizes or problems or whatever. But you have all that experience. So what that really is providing good data and good insights, good reports, so that you can ask good questions. Being an expert, having that experience means you know how to ask good questions. You don't have all the answers. You might have some potential solutions for them to consider. But if the business owner says, well, here, I want you to give me good information, understand my problems, and give me the solution. Well, that's a little more than you're getting paid for, So, and in most cases, the business owners already have in their back of their head, like what they want to do, like a solution that they believe they want to implement. They just need your help in making them feel good about it. Like, what's the data? What's the results? How can I track this? What have I learned from what I'm already doing that I can leverage that's good, and get rid of things that maybe not as successful, etc. Historically, that's sort of fallen outside of the accounting function. But as in the accounting system, you have the record of truth. What's been sold, the price that's been paid, the quantity purchased, when they bought it, when they paid you, were they late, etc. All that information lives in the data you already maintain when you're posting invoices and posting payments against them. It already exists. So why not leverage that information, provide some great insights into sales, customers, and cash collections for the customer to think strategically about their business. And then that opens up a whole world of conversation about their business that you're just not going to get when you're looking at a P&L and a balance sheet. It's a little more difficult to have those conversations when you're looking at it at that big of a level, which is really like trying to steer a boat while looking behind you at the wake. It's like you need to be looking forward. In the world of analytics, you have, the descriptive, prescriptive, food chain that you're kind of trying to move up. And that's where you can provide more value to your client. Absolutely.
Well said. Yeah. No. In regards to now the time to do this, right? Because the time is of the utmost importance, and a lot of it, upwards of 70%, is working in the compliance work and correspondence, and too much in the business, right? So to take off that the work that has to get done to generate all these reports, with bookkeeping, bill pay, receivables, everything like that, right? Offshore staffing can definitely come into play. And I wanted to get your thoughts on that. Where do you think it is now, and where do you think it's going for the future to enable, and empower these CPAs to do these types of services for their clients?
Absolutely. I think that what you said is enable is a key word for me. It's like it enables you to spend less time doing things that are repetitive and are foundational, and allows you more time to do things that are more, prescriptive and strategic with your client, and technology can help do that. Offshore staffing that has that type of experience, repetitive experience, and can certainly be a great enabler for your firm and your practice to go the way you want it to go, which is you only have so many hours in the day, and what do you want to spend them doing, and so you just have to really look at yourself in the mirror and take a hard look at what you want to provide and what your clients are really asking you for, right? And what are they willing to pay for, honestly. I always tell advisors that work with us at TallyStreet is that if you were to generate these reports that we produce on your own, it would probably take you at least a few hours a month. Let's say 2 on the low end, 2 hours a month. And if they would allow you to generate an hour or 2 of strategic advisory conversation with your client that they're willing to pay for, that's a 4-hour swing. You're spending 2 hours less doing stuff you don't want to do that many times is just sunk work, sunk cost. And you have a couple of hours of time you can spend consulting with your business owner about their business and about things they're passionate about, which is sales, customers, and having cash in the bank.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And when many clients that I've spoken with since about last year or so have literally been firing a lot of their clients because they want to focus not on the headaches and time consumers. They want to focus on how they can do this deep dive and provide the resources that they have. But again, with time is of the essence. So I mean, you need to have an understanding, the right packaging of services, and here's where you come into play with the right technology in order to do this. So my question is just some guidance for firms that are doing this. What have you seen and worked with that besides what the business owner wants? What else have you seen to kind of help and guide them along this path?
Well, I think the last year has really shown the importance of paperless in the office, and being more paperless, just less paper floating around. I had several clients that couldn't get to their office for months, and things that were in the mail just got backed up. It just wasn't, you couldn't get to them. And then being remote. So paperless and remote were the two big things that kind of came into play. And doing those things well and doing those things consistently enables you to spend more time doing the things that you want to do, really focusing more on the quality of the time with your clients versus the quantity of time you spend on clients, or the quantity of clients you have. Yes. Really focusing on client quality, not client quantity. And again, providing them what they want. And again, TallyStreet, we try to be, we're not going to be that super deep, solve every problem type of a solution. We're going to be, let's give you exposure to things that matter to your business strategically. And then having those conversations with your client and asking good questions will uncover really what they care about. And you can start going deeper from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then what I find is that clients are trying to figure out, right, how to piece and put all this together. And so if they have the staff in place, they have kind of what they want to deliver to their clients. I mean, how quickly does your technology integrate? Is this a day, a week? Like, how quickly can they get this rolling?
If they're using a cloud-based platform like QuickBooks Online or Xero or Sage Intacct, it's a 15-second connection, and you have reports in about 2 minutes. So it's literally like connecting an app to your phone. It probably takes you more time to do your March Madness picks on the sports app you choose on your phone than it does to connect TallyStreet. It literally is 15 seconds of energy to connect, and 2 minutes later you have the reports in your inbox, and it's ready to go because you already have all the data. You've already done all the hard work, all the things that you've already done, all the entries. You've already done all the invoice records and everything. You've already applied payments appropriately to the right customers against right invoices, etc. You're already doing that for your client, or the client's doing it on their, themselves, and you're working on other aspects of their business. But the data's there in their accounting system, which is the record of truth that we tie into for that source of data, and it's accurate. And we found that no matter how messed up the books are, quote unquote, reconciliations might not be timely. You might do those on the 10th of the month versus the first, whatever. But most business owners and accounting businesses always have the invoices done accurately, because the customer's not going to pay an inaccurate invoice. Right. And you want cash in the bank, so you want to get those invoices out as soon as the customer owes you the funds, right? You want to get those invoices in their hands so you can get paid at the end of the day. So we find it to be the most accurate and timely source of truth is where we get our information to produce our reports. So I encourage everybody out there, try us out. It's a free trial, 30-day free trial. Kick the tires, break it, prove me wrong. It takes you 30 seconds, might take you 5. I've had, it doesn't take long at all. So unlike a lot of other softwares that are out there that do take days, weeks to implement and those kinds of things, it's just, we specifically had this design in mind. We built it that it was, connect and go. There was no other work to do. There wasn't a whole lot of other heavy lift to get it installed and going, because we basically leverage what you're already doing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's why I asked, because I know trying to integrate a new software technology, whether you love technology or you hate it, you have to embrace it. 15 seconds, 2 minutes, heck, that's easy, right? And it's important. That helps with the whole time management. So where do you see TallyStreet kind of going in the future, or wanting to branch out to, or is there any Any fun projects in the works?
Integrations with more accounting GL systems like Microsoft Dynamics and NetSuite are on deck. Right now we connect with QuickBooks, all versions, online, desktop, enterprise, etc. Xero and Sage Intacct. So getting NetSuite and Dynamics integrations online is next on tap. And if there's anybody out there that's interested in partnering with us and collaborating on what that would look like and how that would work best, we'd love to have a conversation about that, because we'd love to make sure that it's meeting your needs at the end of the day. But yeah, we just continue to want to be the customer insights platform for the small to mid-sized business. That's what we want to be. A lot of the Fortune 2000, whatever number you want to throw out there, most large enterprises have this type of analysis and analytics. They have teams of junior analysts doing this kind of work. Most small to mid-sized business owners don't even own that hat. Of all the hats they wear, that's probably not one they have. So this is one that they want. And when you start talking about sales and customers and cash in the bank, their eyes open up wide and their ears perk up, and they go, well, how can you help me understand that better? And for 15 seconds of time and small monthly subscription, you can have it. It's ready. It's ready to roll. That's what we want to provide.
Such a simple solution, especially with clients needing additional help, and you have what resources are out there. And I found that when we had spoke initially that this is something that is extremely beneficial, because I know you work with accountants, but I mean, this is industry agnostic pretty much. But to have the ability to focus for accountants to help them move into that CAS model, I mean, it's phenomenal, because it is hard. And clients ask me, and I'm like, we got staff, but where else do you go? Because you got to have the right partnerships in place.
Right. Like I said before, it isn't about being the expert. It's about sharing your experience and asking good questions. That's really all it's about. It's like, here's all the information I already maintained for you. Here's some additional insights that you can use to help run your business. And what I've found is that many times the accountant, the CAS, the advisor, sees value, or maybe doesn't see as much value as the client, but the client sees tremendous value because they've been maybe struggling with something, with their sales or their marketing or with their customer team or whatever, that they just haven't brought to your attention because they figured you can't provide any value. All you do is reconciliations and get my financial reports done. But if you can show them that you can provide them more insight that they can use in that area of their business that they really care the most about, frankly, that's a whole different conversation. And you've totally elevated your status with that client. And it's a whole new conversation. It's a strategic conversation, not just a due diligence, process oriented type conversation.
Exactly. Yeah, no, this is something that could integrate so quickly, and they could start literally that day and help deliver what they want to the services that they want to offer for their clients. So
absolutely. And I'll mention as well, for firms that we work with, we do have a new report that allows you to see all of your clients and how they're doing in certain key measurements. So you can kind of benchmark how people are doing. And so you can use that to help understand your portfolio of work with clients and where maybe there's some areas that you might need to get some additional training on or provide some additional value with clients, or maybe there's something everybody's struggling with or something like that. And allows you to benchmark how certain businesses are doing compared to others, things like that. So we have that type of, when you connect multiple clients with our platform, we can provide you as the firm some analytics on your client base for you to use internally to see where maybe there's some additional opportunities to create value, provide more services, etc.
Yeah. So perfect. Yeah, you got the firm in place. They got the vision and goal. They got the offshore staffing with us. They got the technology with you for the reporting. We're ready to rock and roll. So
that's right.
As we wind down, any final thoughts? This was really nice today. I appreciate you taking time and learn. I myself learned a lot. But any final thoughts for our audience?
I just say, when it comes to kind of like that offshore staffing kind of concept, I see that more and more. And it's about leveraging that work and those tools and those responsibilities that they have for the base information to get that to another level with your clients, right? So spend your time doing the type of work that you want to do. And if you're moving into advisory, that's certainly, a gateway to having very different conversations with clients and talk about quality versus quantity, and hopefully a better quality of your work life, better balance, etc. Something we all are striving for. And I think everybody realized the importance of that safety net, that network, that team supporting you, during this whole COVID world that we've just come out of. So
yeah, spot on. Awesome. Well said. Thanks so much, Jim. Everybody, thank you for taking time out of your schedule today to listen in. We'll be back soon with more special guests coming up. For now, take care. Have a good week. Jim, thanks again. Be safe. Take care.